Virtual machines and why you need one. Let's talk about it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Get a Grep on Security, your hub for all things cybersecurity, open source intelligence, and everything in between. My name's Pete. Today, we're going to talk about the concepts and advantages behind using virtualization and virtual machines in open source intelligence and cybersecurity. So let's start off. What is virtualization? I often think about virtualization like the concepts in the movie Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio. So if you're familiar with that movie, Leo's character is able to go down different levels of dreams and things kind of build on top of each other as he goes down and ascends. He's got to, like, quote unquote, wake himself up for one dream to find himself in another. So, where that fits into virtualization is you're kind of running a computer within a computer. So, those can be the same operating system. Say you want your host Windows machine and another Windows machine, or those operating systems can be completely different. Say you want your Windows host and a Linux virtual machine, or you want to take advantage of an Android emulator running like the Android operating system or Mac OS, or really anything that you could find a virtual machine image for, you can run through a host as a different operating system. Now, those virtual machines and your host are going to share resources through something called a hypervisor. Let's take a moment and look at an example of that right now. Let's take a little bit deeper dive into the concepts of a hypervisor and what it allows us to do with our virtual machines, because it really is quite incredible what you can do with these machines. Now, as you can see here on my screen, I have an instance of Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager running. We have a Kali Linux machine up and running over here on the left-hand side. You see a bunch of different buttons that don't mean a whole lot of things to us right now, but we'll get into that. So think of this entire screen is our hypervisor. So without getting into too many details and too far in the technical weeds in this video, talking about the different types of hypervisors, things like provisioners, containers, virtual networking, this isn't the video for that. We're going to definitely get into that in the future if y'all are interested. But for right now, just think of our hypervisor as a hosting platform for our virtual machines. Our hypervisor is what's going to allow us to apportion those machines, network them together, and work on the settings like, do we want to connect this machine to the internet? What kind of internet connections do we want to use? Do we want to open it up to Wi-Fi? Do we want it to run Ethernet only? Do we not want to connect it to the internet at all? Or are we having a machine that's more privacy focused, that maybe we want to run through a VPN or run through the Tor network, or simply not have any persistent storage and run the entire machine on RAM? So whenever we shut that machine down, our previous session's history is completely gone. Now, this hypervisor allows us to do all of that. Now, some of that might have to do with different machine imaging, but we can get fairly close to any machine configuration that we need to, just messing around with the settings in our hypervisor. So let's pivot real quick to this Kali Linux machine, and I'll bring that up right now. So as you can see, here is my Kali Linux machine that is running. This is a unique operating system to my host. I'm running this VirtualBox on Windows. This machine has been configured to have its own IP address that's separate subnet altogether from the host that it's running on. I have connected this to run as a wired connection only using Ethernet. I have persistent storage set up. And let's take a look at some more of that, going back to our virtual box, and let's look at our settings. So come up here to settings. You can set all sorts of things in here. If you don't want copy and paste back and forth, you can set these differently, but I definitely like that. Going from my host machine, copy and pasting in and out of the VM definitely has its advantages. So if we come down here to storage, we can see where you can set up different SATA connections if you have that ability to go to do that in your virtual machine. You can enable and disable USB controller connections depending on what type of USB you're using. Say you want to connect some detachable storage or a Wi-Fi adapter because you want to do some Wi-Fi hacking, or just want to boost the Wi-Fi capabilities of this machine and not have it run through your local connection. Maybe you want to test public Wi-Fi to see if it's stealing data. And that's a concept that we'll get into here in a little bit with sandboxing. You can share folders from your machine onto your virtual machine. Say you want to sandbox something that you think might be malware. You can take it over onto your virtual machine and open it there. The possibilities really are endless with this. And one of the biggest advantages to utilizing a hypervisor is these couple buttons up here. We'll shut down our Kali machine real quick, just so I have some more options. We'll say shut that down. We'll get rid of that. Power that off. So up here you see this camera icon with a plus on it, and you also see the clone option. So these are great options when you want to do open source intelligence and has advantages in the cybersecurity sphere. So the difference being that a snapshot is going to take an image of the machine that we have running. So let's take a snapshot of this machine and see what that looks like. So we'll say snapshot 1, we'll say testing malware, just for something to put in there. So we'll say okay. So as you can see, this is going to bring up a snapshot menu. So we have the current state of our machine, and we can reload our machines back to this snapshot in time. So essentially what that snapshot is doing is it's taking a placeholder for everything that's on this machine at one time. Say we wanted to create an image of our host as a Windows machine. We could take a snapshot of that machine and load that into a Windows virtual machine, and we can try different things on that system to see different system impacts. Say that you wanted to pilot a new software package for your business. You could create a snapshot of a like machine that you utilize in your office environment, and then run the new software and look at things like system and CPU usage, look at any bad system calls that this may be making. Perhaps it's corrupted software and you don't want that to impact your working environment just because you don't trust it 100%. A hypervisor and a virtual machine are going to allow you that testing, that sandboxing environment by doing things like creating snapshots. And this is going to help ensure that if that machine becomes corrupted, you can revert back to the snapshot. Let's take a look at cloning, which is another big plus to having virtual machines. So we can create an entire clone of this machine. So we can even assign them different generating new MAC addresses to create an entirely new machine. Or if we want to network our clones all together into a network. This allows us to say we're working in intelligence shop, or we're working in a cybersecurity platform developing software in a virtual environment. This is going to allow us to clone the same environments that we may find our evidence in, or that we may be working on a software package together. That way, our entire team, in the software example, our entire team can be working with the same tooling across multiple different hosts. We can host that in a virtual environment by providing them with clones of those machines. Maybe we're working in a red teaming environment and we're all testing the same production environment. We can create clones of that environment and we can all try different tooling against these machines in real time. So we're not waiting on one another and we're all playing on the same playing field. This is particularly good for open source intelligence in that I can create a machine that has all the tooling that I need on it. For each investigation, then I can create a new clone and start fresh. These machines, if we don't have the same MAC addresses, if they're not hooked up to the same network adapters, we have a fresh machine with no bad cookies, no browsing history. It allows us better operational security. And if the machines that we use to collect our intelligence are ever subpoenaed, all we have to do for the court is provide that machine image that we began with and not have to ship them an entire device that may impact business and that may definitely slow our investigations down. Ask me how I know and why I love using virtual machine clones to do my open source intelligence investigations, because I've been bit before. But those are really the biggest advantages when it comes to virtual machine environments. And if we spin up different machine images, we can use proprietary tooling on the operating systems that they're designed for and not have to patch over tools. For example, if we bring up Kali Linux, one of my favorite tools to use in Kali Linux is Maltego. Maltego is very specific to Linux environments and doesn't run great on Windows. Definitely doesn't run great on Mac OS. But here, all I have to do is pull up my Kali machine and I'm able to use things like Maltego or Searchsploit or different programs that may have a command line usage that are far easier for me to talk in Linux than it would be to talk in PowerShell, for example. And those are just a few examples of the advantages of virtual machines. I would encourage anyone to try these out, play with them. The great part about these is if you make a mistake, you can always delete the machine and start over again without any impact to your host. So really use this as your Legos, your playground, and see what you can come up with. These machines will teach you a lot. about how computers function, different networking principles. The sky is really the limit, as I said before. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. For more, see us at getagrep.tech. I have been Pete. Thank you so much. See you next time.